Alright guys, this is a video that I've been waiting to put out for quite some time. I was extraordinarily excited the other day when I wanted to do this, but then life just happened. Jen threw her back out. There's been tons of things that's been happening. I've been still working super hard on a number of things, but I have my first copies of the book in hand, Dismantling Religion, and I couldn't be more stoked. This is my first book, guys. I am very excited for myself. So I hope you actually can find excitement with me. I know that a lot of you guys have been wondering, like, what's the book about? And I've been kind of hesitant to express everything that's in it. My main reason is marketing. My second main reason is surprise. Like, I have some stuff in here, guys, that I think is true discoveries, like real discoveries. I'm not sure that anybody else has actually ever done. So I kind of want to keep those surprises for you as you find out what this thing is about. But because I've got this thing coming out, and you guys can see this, here's the spine. And check this out. Here's the spine, and then here's the back. And so I'm going to read to you what's on the back, because a lot of you guys have been like, well, what's this about? So I think the back does a pretty decent job of what this is about. And then I'm going to probably read to you the introduction. So this is what it says. What if one of the most disruptive periods in human history has been largely forgotten? What if a global cataclysm was followed by the systematic destruction of archives, libraries, and memory, leaving behind a silence that reshaped Christian identity? What if, in the wake of that upheaval, morality shifted from external law to internal conscience, and the kingdom Jesus proclaimed was gradually reframed into something else? For 2,000 years, Christianity has inherited structures few have questioned. Dismantling Religion traces the turning point that redefines faith, examining the upheaval, the erasure that followed, and the system that gradually came to define belief in its place. This is not an attack on believers. It is a historical investigation, and it asks a simple but unsettling question. What if religion is not the kingdom? But it does not stop there. What if the kingdom is far closer than we've ever been taught to believe? Now, again, this is on purpose a little bit of a vague. It's purposefully vague. So I'm taking you through. If you saw this on a shelf, you probably look at the cover and go, wow, that's kind of interesting. What's that about? And then you might flip it over and read that and go, that's also interesting. And so I'm going to do the next thing, and I'm going to hopefully take you through this, and hopefully you'll be interested in this enough. So it's a short introduction, but I'm going to read the introduction to you. Introduction. Why? This is one of my favorite questions of all time. This question unlocks the mysteries of the universe, causes the deepest discussions in philosophy, and erupts elation in children trying to annoy their parents. Why has given me a fundamental vehicle to search for one thing: truth. I went through a very difficult time in my life near the summer of 2009 that upended my life. A con artist, although I didn't know that she was one at the time, came into my life through some friends, gained my spiritual trust, and proceeded to steal over $50,000 through my credit cards in just over 3 months. The series of events caused me to go into one of the darkest seasons of my life. I lost my business, many of my friends, and much of my sanity. And although I wouldn't mind telling you all the details of how this happened, for the sake of your time and getting to the point of this book, I will simply say it devastated me. I literally had to throw out everything that I ever knew because there were so many lies from her and others in my life mixed into the truth. To try and sift it would be much like trying to separate yeast from dough. And this yeast was like a time bomb in my heart that was killing me. I couldn't sift it, and I didn't know what was up from down anymore, so I chucked everything. I became one who lost everything and had to rebuild. For the next 2-ish years, I became a nihilist and an agnostic. I didn't know anything or anyone anymore, anything anymore what to believe. Over those 2 years, I slowly began to rebuild, and it was in those 2 years of process that I gained something extraordinary. When I threw everything out, and yes, I mean everything, I gained my freedom from religion. I was so scared to throw everything out because I didn't know where that would lead me. Is there still somehow spirituality if I chucked religion? I grew up in church my entire life and I heard stories, let me tell you. And what I walked away from with those stories of terror and admonishment was rules keep you safe. Do this list of things that are godly and not this list of things that are sinful. I was terrified. Without my rules that I grew up being taught, but had started to smell of sourdough and nitroglycerin, where would I go? Without my rules, what was to keep me on the straight and narrow? So I knew that where I was going was potentially dark, but something shifted in me, in my heart, and I wanted truth, no matter the cost. I wanted real light. Over the next many years, God was so kind to me and very gently nurtured me into a place of hope and freedom. But there was always at the core of me a question afresh in my heart that guided everything. Why? I questioned everything. Nothing was sacred. Nothing was off the table anymore. Without external restrictions, I was free to pursue truth. Without fear, through my life, that I began to sow a semblance of understanding of who God truly is and what He's doing on this earth. He brought me to a journey of no religion and pure relationship, and I've grown to deeply love His Spirit. Oh, and I need to quickly pause here because a friend of mine encouraged me to rewrite something here in this introduction. So give me 1 second while I pull this up, and I'm going to reread the introduction from that point of view. So that I've grown to deeply love His Spirit. He brought me to a journey of no religion and pure relationship, and I've grown to deeply love His Spirit. This book is my attempt to share what I discovered on a long road of questions and disillusionment, and the surprising freedom I found waiting on the other side. It isn't a story of bitterness or escape, but of searching for truth with an open heart and refusing to settle for easy answers. Sorry for that. My wife is trying to call me. If you are willing to walk through the entirety of this book, I believe you will find that what unfolds is not simply my story, but something far more universal. Truths that press in on all of us, regardless of how or where we were raised. While this journey began in the soil of my own upbringing, the conclusions I've come to are not limited to church, culture, or religious circles. After years of conversations and quiet wrestling with people from all walks of life, believers, skeptics, wanderers, and those who would never step foot in church, I've come to believe that what is at stake here isn't merely theological, it's human. Along the way, I stumbled across lies that run deeper than most of us dare to admit. They don't just saturate our culture or distort our politics. They are embedded in the very places we were taught to trust most, the institutions and traditions we were told would lead us to God. So I believe that this is an incredible opportunity for many of you to find something that will bring true freedom to your lives. I've met some people, and when I've been able to share the deep truths that are in this book, most of them are like, wow, that's really helpful. But some go, you know what, I've already kind of known this deeply within me, even though I didn't have the basis of understanding behind it. I'm one of those people that always asks why. I want to know the why behind things. And so if you're one of those people that actually is like, I just believe deep in my heart and I don't need to know the why, this book might not be for you. But if you want to know the why, why something is the way that it is, well, I believe that I have uncovered some things that are truly remarkable. So I, on 4/4, the book is going to be available on all platforms, and I'm encouraging you to get it. If you want to dive in further, I will be watching some more videos here in a little bit to actually give some example. But again, here it is, Dismantling Religion, and you got a really cool graphic there on the front, and there's reference to that in the book. So anyway, I'm hoping you guys enjoy. Love you. Have a wonderful day.